build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance that's bit in his eye. Well, they gave me balls, but I can see between to a dusty yard and long gone green. We call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I drown my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober as a judge.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bangers episode 2. I'm Matty. I'm joined by Brian and John tonight. Guys, how are you doing?
Right. Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm curious though, like, when are you going to release this episode? Because I'm not really any different from when we started like 25 minutes ago.
Aye. So I'm not going to release it bang on the same time as Short Bangers. So we just recorded Short Bangers. That'll go out on Friday night, and I think this will go out on Sunday, John. To answer your question.
Aye, I'm fine, Matthew. I'm celebrating a Hibs win. How are you?
What Hibs win are you celebrating?
Dundee. Dundee in the Betfred Cup.
Oh, tomorrow, right? Excellent. Aye, me too. It was a good game, eh?
How are you doing? Are you all right?
Aye, well, I'm still in the car park that I was in when we started Short Bangers, so life's not much better than it was before. Right, this is our second episode of Bangers. The first one we did as a pilot, and we'd asked people to kind of send in some suggestions and stuff that we could talk about, and we figured that didn't work that great, so instead we're just going to kind of talk about things that we want to talk about, and if you find that interesting listening to it, then very good, we'll keep doing them. So John, what's been on your mind this week?
Shit, this is a lot more difficult when you've got to come up with your own stuff. I don't know. It's been a busy week for me. Like I've had the week off because I had the week off.
COVID?
Could be COVID one. Have you had it checked?
Nah, that's to be honest. Actually, there's a thing. That's something that's really fucked me off. Like living in West Lothian, and there'll be loads of people sort of around me across the Central Belt who find themselves facing Tier 4 restrictions, which means, you know, the pubs that were open before are closed. The gym that I've been going to regularly is closed. And I know that this is, and I've said this to multiple people, I know this is a very, very short-sighted view because, you know, the pandemic is not just about me. But I've downloaded the track and trace app. I'm following all the guidelines, you know, fucking sanitize and wash my hands, not making any non-essential journeys. Only other place I'm going to is the gym, and suddenly we find ourselves facing these restrictions again. Like all the things that were, I say all the things that were available to me before. The one thing that was available to me because I was sort of eating so much was taken away, and I don't like. There doesn't really seem to be any justification, albeit from a very sort of local point of view. Like I'm not aware, for example, of anyone in the gym while I've been in the gym because of the track and trace app who has tested positive that suggests I need to get a test. I've obviously not been around anyone else at that time that say, you know, that's had the virus that says that I need to get a test, and yet here we all are, and it is really, really difficult for everyone. Obviously, it's a little bit easier, like up and down the country in different places where restrictions are eased. But here, I fucking hate it.
Do you know anybody that has tested positive, John? Anybody's got it?
Well, this is the thing. I do know people who have had the virus, and I know one person whose mother got the virus who was really badly infected. She's one of those long COVID patients. So I think she developed diabetes and a couple of other conditions on the back of it.
That's quite tight, isn't it? Is she better now, or is she still struggling?
I think she's better in as much as she's over the virus. She's just got these lasting conditions, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's this selfish view where the pandemic is impacting so many other people, and I think so. We've got 3 weeks of restrictions in West Lothian, and obviously the other areas that have got the Tier 4. But then there was that chat midweek about Christmas and how you were going to have, you know, extended bubbles, you know, for 5 days, and it just seems like, why are we doing this now if we're going to be be so-called able to do that later on.
Gone Raj at Christmas. What I like about it is the new words that people now use that folk never talked about before, pre-COVID. So, furlough. Had you ever heard the word furlough before? Before COVID?
I think I'd heard of it, but not. I don't think I'd heard it used in this sort of capacity. If that makes any sort of sense, like furlough as we know it now is just everyone not everyone, people that can't work from home or whatever. The government are contributing to paying their wages, kind of thing. I'm not entirely sure what instance I've heard furlough being used before. I don't know. Is it
horse
more of
racing term? That's what it sounds like, a fucking horse racing term, doesn't it? I'm gonna have to furlough them. What are you talking about?
I wonder if it's like an American term. I wonder if it's maybe something I've heard on TV or that. But anyway, that's what's annoying me. Being stuck in the fucking house for another 2 weeks, basically.
And you're not even married yet, are you? Or are you married?
Married, aye.
Oh, aye. Why did I think you weren't married? Oh, because you said it wouldn't be annoying get stuck, or yeah, it was annoying get stuck for 2 weeks. That's a sure sign. Think you're married.
Yes.
What about you, Brian? How's COVID impacted you? You started a new job in amongst all this, haven't you? So what was different there?
Nothing much. Just walking about with a mask is annoying, especially when you're a smoker. It gets in the way. But you know what? I've actually become so used to it that this feels normal now. What life was like back in January, February, I've forgotten what it's like to walk into a pub and shake hands with folk and go to the bar and speak to the barman and order a pint and hand over a note and get change and go and sit down. It just what we've done the last 10 months, 8, 9 months, whatever it is, that's become normal to me now. And I suppose you just become used to it. It's funny because now and again if I'm out and about and I see other people wearing masks and whatever, and then I think to myself, could I have imagined this a year ago? Could I have imagined a world like this a year ago? And you just simply couldn't.
Nah, it's mad. It's like the folk queuing outside shops and things like that, like just for basic stuff, like queuing to get into Greg's for a sausage roll because there's a couple of folk already in the shop.
You now have to wash your hands after a piss. It's a joke.
I thought you were going to say that folk were queuing outside Greg's for a sausage roll because folk had been in panic buying them before.
Like door handles anymore.
Nah. The world's went mad.
What about the conspiracy theories? This is one of the things that, like, I have a very kind of low tolerance for conspiracy theories and things like that, because it's like
you shake your fist at them.
Both fists. I just like I don't know who comes up with them and how they get so much support. It's just like, you ever tried organising a night out for more than 4 or 5 folk? This is like how I always kind of dismiss the idea of conspiracy theories. You try to get 4 or 5 folk to turn up at the same place at the same time, is near enough fucking impossible, because folk back out at the last minute, or like try to arrange something for a surprise for somebody and always find out about it. You couldn't coordinate on this scale a conspiracy about COVID and have folk just going along with it. You've got nations who are like historically at war with each other, working together to kind of try and fix it. It just wouldn't happen. It couldn't be something that's manufactured to. I don't even know to what end they would have done it. And then all the stuff about the kind of the vaccine, and folk kind of going to refuse to take it, and you go, just fucking take the vaccine so we can all just get on with life, please. That's kind of my view on it. I didn't get conspiracy theories in general, but this one in particular is particularly mental, especially when you've got folk who are like influential on social media, like Ian Brown for the Stone Roses going on about how fucking the idea of following the rules was like if you follow the rules, you're an idiot. As if that's going to fucking help things. Like, mate, you made a career out of badly singing some really, really good songs. You didn't care anything about fucking COVID, so shut up. That's that's kind of thing that bugs me about it. The whole coronavirus thing. I'm not even that bothered about having to stay in, because I quite like staying in. I'm quite a lazy person by nature, so the thought of being able to sit in and fart about on my Xbox and not have to worry about socialising is bro.
You're a pretty lazy person until it comes to dogging in Glenrothes on a Friday night.
Well, you've got to make an effort somewhere, John. You've got to try something somewhere, eh? Otherwise you just sit and get fat. So,
well, as it turns out, it's now dogging on a Sunday night, so I hope it's a long stay car park. This is going to cost me a fortune.
A time traveling podcast.
But I'm not even sure this is an appropriate story to tell for a podcast, but I'm going to use it. Actually got a running commentary on this in the WhatsApp group last week. But when I was here last week, so we're at a sports centre in Glenrothes, and again, I'll not name it in case I get barred, but I had an upset stomach. And if I'm going to have to go to the toilet, we've spoken before on Longbangers about one of my fears is being caught short for this kind of thing. So I masked up. I was lucky I had a mask. I went in the toilet, which was a one in, one out kind of system going, and I went in, and like the best way to describe it would be to say I destroyed the toilet. Right, it was not pleasant. It was probably a good 15 minutes in there, and I came out, and it was like head down, headed for the exit, but they had a one-way system, and I never mentioned this on my WhatsApp, but the receptionist tried to stop me on my way out, and I was that embarrassed about how bad a state the toilet would have been in. I just head down, just fucking ignored her, and poof, against the one-way system, and straight out the door back to the car. And I'm feared to go in, so I'm praying I don't need the toilet tonight. In fact, I wore a different coat in that tonight in case they recognised me.
It's probably still cordoned off.
The only time I can think of a time that was worse than that for, like, leaving a bathroom in a kind of a bad way. I'm not talking, I never left a mess or anything like that. I just would have stunk. But just to be clear, I've not actually kind of gone and broken anything. But we had my mate's stag in Prague, and so we were there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and on the Sunday we were waiting for the taxi to come and pick us up for the hotel. And you can imagine you've been drinking since you've left the house pretty much on the Thursday, on the Friday, all the way through to the early hours of Sunday morning. And we're waiting, and I feel the gurgling in the stomach. I'm like, oh Christ, gonna have to go to the toilet. And there was again one wee cubicle in the lobby of this hotel, and so I went, and this thing made me feel ill. Like, I obviously was hungover anyway, but it was fucking foul. And as I opened the door to come out, there was a wee Chinese guy about to go in, and there was no way of escaping. Like, I mean, he would have been hit by the wall and this, like, just fumes as I walked out, and I kind of mumbled an apology. I mumbled an apology and walked past, and he went in, and you could just hear him wrenching. Aye, so I think we're going to that. But
see, when you mentioned Backdraft there, Brian, like, have you seen the film Backdraft?
Years ago.
Aye, so you know how, like, the boys go up, like the firemen go up and they're touching the door, trying to feel for heat and see if it's safe to go through. Imagine trying to do that for a fart.
Just poking your bum there or something, John. Is that how you would work that?
Well, I don't know. Like, if you would, I don't know. Like, if the wall of smell was that bad, like, would you open the door just a crack? Would you kind of, I don't know, put your nose into the keyhole or something? I don't know.
I often wonder if that wee Chinese guy survived. Or taxi came before he got out. But it dominates my thoughts some days. Aye. So, COVID, John, and are you coping all right with it though?
Aye. I had a wee bit of a blip on Wednesday because, like, my 3 gym sessions a week are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Wednesday I wasn't feeling it, and my session. So I have 2 gym sessions a week, and I have one with a personal trainer. And tonight was with the personal trainer. I was just thinking, how the fuck is this going to go? Like, I'm up in the wee room cum office that I've been working in, And that's where I've got like the dumbbell that he sent me away with, and I've got like my yoga mat laid out for my stretches and whatnot. And I thought, how is this going to work? Like when I'm in the gym with a guy, like he's able to sort of like prod me on technique, make sure that I'm doing everything properly. I'm thinking this is going to be fucking shite. Like I'm cooped up in this tiny wee room, and he's going to be trying to work all that. But thankfully, thankfully, he'd said to me before that there's like a million different ways that you can do exercises. So if one thing's not working, if you're not quite getting it, if you're not quite feeling it, and you could do it another way. So actually, to be fair to the boy, he managed to kind of talk me through it and bring me out of my slump. So I'm much more looking forward to like next week's sessions. So it's kind of like Brian said, like I had a real blip at the start of the year, like just dealing with lockdown. It was just, again, like it was kind of like support mechanisms, all the things that I'd been working on to kind of keep me working and keep me going, just suddenly lockdown gone. This time it's a bit more easier to take. You know, it's like, I think because we've had like you say, 8 or 9 months, there's been at least a 6-month period there of me adjusting to things just like more and more kind of being taken away. There was that wee sort of brief light at the end of the tunnel when I was, popping at the pub and having a couple of pints on like Friday nights or whatever. It's not a big waste. But other than that, like I'm fine. Like, but I know that it will be really shit for some people. Like, we're in 9 months potentially of people that have got like compromised immune systems. That it's 9 months of isolation. They're having to keep themselves away from other people. And I do, like I say, I know that what I'm describing is very, very selfish. It's very self-centered, and I do have massive sympathy for people like that, because it must be even more shit. Well, it will be even more shit.
Aye, you're right. What have you, Brian? What's been on your mind this week?
What's been on my mind this week? Been watching The West Wing, which I will reiterate is the greatest TV program of all time. What else have I been doing? I've worked out that I probably need a bird. I think it's maybe time to dip my toes back in the murky pool of dating.
I don't think that sort of chat is going to get you a bird, Brian. calling it a murky pool.
Life's a cruel mistress, John. Argued with I think he was Hungarian, over Windows, and that's about it. I remembered earlier on, randomly, I don't know why, probably when I was thinking about that, I should probably start, spending time with women again, that Jerry Halliwell was a big reason for me losing my virginity.
But was she running the brothel, or?
No.
What's the story behind that, Brian?
Oh, God. When it came to the crunch, I wasn't standing to attention. Nerves. Using a condom for the first time, that's just prompts a flaccid bobby, doesn't it? And in my panicked haste, I remember back then I did have quite the crush on her, and my sister's room, she had a poster of the Spice Girls where Jerry Halliwell was wearing her Union Jack dress, where she was looking very, very top heavy, may I say. So I kind of broke off what I was attempting to do with the lady that I was with. Basically ran through to my sister's room and stared intensely at a picture of Jerry Halliwell with a Union Jack dress, trying to stroke up a chubby. I I should caveat that my sister was not in the room at the time.
Did
And
do
when
the
you
trick?
went back through, Brian, did you take the poster with you?
No, I just walked back through sporting a very proud erection, to be fair.
Bursting into the room, going, tell me what you want. We really.
So,
How did you excuse yourself at that moment? Like, I'm sorry for asking a personal question. This is how my head works. You kind of go, it all makes sense, but there's definitely going to be that awkward moment where you're going, hey, I'll be back in a minute.
if memory serves, I'm going back over 20 years here. I don't think I was questioned on it. I think probably my behaviour throughout the whole sort of, the fumbling process was very odd. So that probably didn't stand out as an out of character moment. It was just a continuation of a theme of just awkwardness that I was projecting the whole time. And may I say, although it's probably patently clear, it was thoroughly disappointing for her, I think.
Was it? Oh fuck! I'm just thinking of you finishing with a zig. Ah.
Was Jerry Halliwell your favourite one for the Spice Girls, Brian?
Oh, she was. She definitely was. Although I remember I had my mates staying over. There was about 2 or 3 of my mates had stayed over. I would have been, I don't know, God, about 14, 15. And back then when you've got your bedroom, you've got a good few mates staying over. There's no spare beds way out or whatever else. They just sleep wherever, on the floor, etc.
Yeah.
Somebody will fall asleep on a swivel chair. I went to bed that night, and I had the most vivid dream I think I've ever had. I still remember it. Vivid dream I ever had that I was actually in a relationship with Baby Spice. Bear in mind, I'm only about 14 at the time, so a dickhead. But I woke up and I was genuinely distraught because it turned out it was just a dream. And obviously my floor was littered with prepubescent dickheads of my mates. And I was absolutely gutted. Like I say, I still remember it now, over nearly 25 years on. It just how depressed I was when I woke up. And I was just a spotty, underdeveloped 14-year-old that had probably spent the majority of his night humping the mattress.
What I like to think has happened is Baby Spices woke up that morning and just thought, who was that cunt?
It was most definitely, I woke up and it was definitely when 2 became 1. I was on my own.
Well,
Have you
John,
ever-
do you have a favourite Spice Girl, John?
His would have been Victoria Beckham, Posh Spice, because she was fond of the point, wasn't she? She was always pointing.
Aye, Chisholm-esque.
Releases
Nah.
her inner Ross Chisholm.
I thought, in like my humble opinion, I thought she was probably on a par with Sporty Spice and just not really being. This just sounds terrible, especially coming from fucking Curvy Nisbet, but I didn't think that she had any sexual magnetism about her.
No.
Just, you look good, but really, there's just nothing that appealed to me. But then you had Baby Spice, you had fucking, what was the one? Scary Spice. And,
Oh, she would have chucked you about the place, huh?
that was probably where my fondness for crazy ladies came from.
Crazy.
Casually dropping that in the conversation. Yeah, I've got a fondness for crazy ladies.
Just thinking back to it, there was a period where I was doing a bit of thieving in my life, and then there was a period where I was just into fucking nutters, and I'm on a different phase of my life now. Aye.
You've calmed down.
Aye. Who was your favourite?
Baby. I actually didn't think any of them were that great. They were like, I thought folk had favourites and stuff like that and kind of went on about them, because it was manufactured. It was kind of like popular to do it. But I think if you actually, none of them were like totally stunning. I wouldn't have said. My crush at that time was Louise Wenner from Sleeper.
Who?
Don't know if you Louise Wenner, Sleeper, the band called Sleeper, indie band. She was nice.
I wonder if the 5 Spice Girls are currently doing a podcast just now, saying which one of the Longbangers guys would you?
Aye. So none of them were that special even in their prime, but you want to see them now.
By the way,
that's fair. Aye.
I can see the appeal of this Louise Wenner. I was a bit fond of the girl or the lead singer of Republica.
Oh, aye.
Was she calling herself Saffron or something?
I think she was, or yeah, I think you're right. That's good. Good bit of memory.
Yeah.
I bought their CD. I don't know if I had more than one album, but I remember buying it, and then my wee sister, who worked in a clothes shop at the time, took it to play in the clothes shop, and I never saw it again. So that was nice of her. Anyway, right. I think that'll do us for the night. On that note, we've talked about our favourite female pop stars from back in the day, which probably portrays us in a really bad light for the rest of the time. Never mind.
Nah, I think it portrays us as what we were at that age, just young teenage boys.
Little wankers.
Aye.
Pretty much. Aye.
Not much has changed, we've just gotten older.
just got older. I was glad the internet wasn't a thing when I was that age, otherwise I'd never left the fucking bed.
Well, if the internet was a thing back then, I wouldn't have to rely on a Spice Girls poster to get me over the line, would I?
On dial-up. Oh, fuck. Will be a while. You'd be quick with the poster. Right, well, we'll be back in a couple of weeks with episode 3 of Bangers. Hope you enjoyed this one. Get in touch if you did, and we'll catch you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink water, no.